Well, he does, and he's good at it. I'm not
Where he
saying
started.
he's so good at the wrestling part, but he is such an
Come on, Dutch. Come on, Dutch. Come on.
overwhelming character. Because he looks like $1 million out there. He's all jacked up and he put himself with his cousins and the bloodline. So that's a whole nother year just in that. So they probably got 3 or 4 years just right now if they can keep it going. Just don't overstep yourself, and now they can take it in increments. I remember when I was in WWE, he would get down and they were thinking of something to do, and then the wrestling business is called hot shot. Let's hot shot this angle. Boom, 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 let's do something really strong. Well, it would have been okay to start it that way, but yet they would be out of it by the next pay-per-view. What they would do to me, and what I understood, and I'm studying and I'm there with them, they would book from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. That's it. Then they would, after the pay-per-view, then they'd start something else. Then they'd go to the next pay-per-view. Then stop it there and then go to the next one. Well, it was start, stop, 10 times during the year. But with the bloodline, they've kept that going. Now, you have a lot of people complaining, Roman's, he's been the champion too long, and yeah, I get that.
I don't
Yeah, it is getting old now. And I know people gonna complain, but 3 years, damn. Sometimes I wish they would, and I know people get sick of this too, the hot potato thing, because at least it'll be on more than one person for 100 years. But damn, it's getting, because like even people like sick of the Cody thing. Okay, after Cody finally gets it, does it go back to Roman again? How about that? If you know, what's he gonna do about it? You know. So it's who's even gonna? Because it's gonna get old now. Like they wore out. I know it was something different, but totally different match. But they wore out Cena and Orton, and they tried to wear out Lesnar and Orton, not Lesnar and Orton, Lesnar and Reigns by wearing it out.
Going down with him being champion.
And what they've done, they've built a desire for to see Roman lose that title, and of course he can only lose it at this point.
If you don't lose that belt, them fans gonna be they're gonna be mad.
Somebody else come in and take it, that screws everything up. Now, when you're trying to just think of what this WWE creative they have to deal with. They got to think of the collective mind of the fans out there and the TV audience. They got to think collectively, and now they can take their time because they have their attention. Now you don't do anything crazy. You do and they can ride this for 3 years. There used to be a saying, and I don't know where it came from.
Been 3 years.
That the wrestling fan base turns over about every 3 years. Did you ever read that, something like that?
I remember hearing something like every storyline can be recycled every 7 years.
Oh yes, it can be.
But these days it can't be because there's the network and fans. You know,
fans don't forget now. Come on.
International, or more or less WWE now, which is international, and I think you've got a lot more hardcore long-term fans watching who will think, "Hey, they did that in 1997."
Yeah,
that kind of thing. So I think
it's Jim Crockett Promotions, which was the promotion in the Carolinas. Jim Crockett had a book, and he would do 6 weeks or 7 week programs or 8.
Wasn't that NWA?
No more than 2 months, and he would follow the same format basically. He would just change the talent is all he would do. And it would take somebody that really paid attention to wrestling to really notice that. Okay, let's take this. Let's say would The Rock going into the Bloodline, would it have worked if Seth Rollins had been in that spot?
Well, Seth Rollins in the Bloodline. How about that?
Not no, but hell no. I mean, it might have worked to a degree.
Well, Sami Zayn did, and
that was even.
Yeah, but
It was trying to be funny and silly.
Is he Rock over?
No.
I don't know about
Is
Come on.
Seth Rock over?
No.
It takes The Rock to do that. And so now they have it, and they had to have, see, Rock transcends every bit of the WWE roster. He's bigger than everybody.
That's The Rock.
Do you think he could have gotten the same treatment under Vince? No. Vince would have stopped it. Because Vince didn't want anybody getting bigger than the company. He didn't want anybody saying when they bought a ticket to come in, he wanted them to come in saying, oh, we're going to see WWE.
I don't know. He let.
But they really come
Cena
to
had
see
that 15-year run now.
Or they come to see The Rock. Or they come to see Kevin Nash. Or they come to see... He wanted them to say, we're going to see the WWE, which never really panned out. But that was his viewpoint, because he didn't want anybody getting over more than the company. But with Rock, they've already lost that battle.
How about that? Because remember, Stone Cold, even when he was hurt, all he had to do was come out there and talk a little crap, and they loved it, even when he was hurt. I'll never forget. Yeah, I liked the whole show, but I never forget waiting to see Stone Cold come out there and start. I never forget that, getting the VCR, the VHS tapes ready. Yes, so getting ready at when did wrestling start back then? 8 o'clock? Was it 9 o'clock? Either 7:57 or 8:57, whatever time that it was. Sometimes they did it with the Nitro thing. They try to get when they were battling, try to get like a 3-minute head start, or a 5-minute head start. That was rough. I don't know about trying to cheat about that. They were like, we're gonna beat him and that's it. Because it was basically Stone Cold over here, and then you had NWO and all that stuff going on over there. So yeah, the channel flipping was something else.
But Rock, now, look, he's not going anywhere soon. He's not leaving. That's his baby. He's making all this money, and he has an understanding of it. And I think he's in the
He's staying
exact
after
spot
WrestleMania, though.
where he needs to be in at this exact time.
Now, we were talking off air, before we start recording. Don't want to make it too grandiose.
Yeah, don't use that inside lingo too
No,
much.
I know. You said to me, what do you think is going to happen at WrestleMania and beyond? And then you said,
Yep.
because I'm going to tear it apart. And then I said something, and you went, that's basically what I thought. So we keep almost going with the same thing. Right, I'll tell you what I think, and then you say where you think it'll go different. I think night one in the tag match, Cody will be pinned by The Rock. And then in night two, Cody will defeat Roman Reigns for the title, and The Rock will somehow be involved in messing up and costing Roman the match. I think that Roman and The Rock and the rest of the Bloodline will continue staying as a group until SummerSlam, and then maybe the return match between Cody and Roman, The Rock, or it could be Cody or Roman, or it could be Cody and The Rock, and then Roman or Rock, whichever, costs the other one the match. Cody remains champion. And then that sets up Rock and Roman for the next WrestleMania, and then Cody can then branch off and defend the title against whoever he's going to defend the title against the next WrestleMania.
So how long are you saying Cody you think will have the title?
I think he'll have it through SummerSlam. Oh, before I forget, Dusty, his 3 reigns, 5 days, 88 days, and 14 days. So next to no time at all, really.
You know why they did it like that back in those days, right?
Yes, because the money's in the chase.
Yes, but it's also like a lot of times Dusty held the title. You wouldn't know it in Texas. They wouldn't announce it. You wouldn't announce it, say, in Minneapolis or wherever.
They were saying Dusty was big in Florida.
That would just say he won it in Florida for 5 days.
Yeah, Florida.
That stayed in Florida. That didn't really branch out anywhere. Now, see, and I do agree with you. I don't think Cody will keep it long, but he'll keep it more than a few days.
He won't.
And they'll take it to one of the big.
If you don't keep it a while, he ain't gonna be no next
after WrestleMania, SummerSlam.
Cena.
Well, that's like 4 or 5 months away. But you know, it's a pay-per-view every month. Yeah.
And see, another thing they watch very closely is merchandise sales. Cody's merchandise apparently is flying off the shelves.
Absolutely.
And so they look at that and they say, this guy is freaking over. So they're going to realize how much money they're making there not as opposed to, but added on to the pay-per-view.
Like I said, I like Cody more than Cena. Cody's got a fan base too, but
so that makes they got Cody
not
in a
super
spot
excited
where he might be the best paid wrestler, except for The Rock and Roman, of all of them. But
he's on the cover of the video game.
This is what I think. I think
this year
Cody's going to lose, like you say, the first night, and then they're going to do a number on Cody. I think I brought this up. I think we'll have him actually helped to the dressing room or gurneyed out, maybe, because they beat his ass that bad. Good start that Cody Rhodes hasn't been given the goal to
Grandpa does. He's something else.
But they want an outcome.
Woo! He said they beat his ass real bad.
Says, I've waited this long. They're going to have to kill me before they.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go.
Yeah. Me and Dutch thinking the same thing. They're probably gonna even if he wins that belt, they're probably gonna stomp his ass. They're gonna beat him real bad. But it's still nothing like the beating he got last week though. In the freaking rain. I thought he was gonna throw him in the water too for a minute. That's what it looked like. Cause yeah, he got an ass whipping.
Oh, and have him go back out there. And here he comes, Spirit of 76. You can beat me down, but you can't keep me down. And then go out there, and then he goes through it all again. And I think then Cody somehow, through a misdirection with The Rock and Roman, Cody goes over and wins, and now that takes precedent over Cody winning. Now I think people leave that pay-per-view saying, now what? Now what's going to happen?
I think they need to tease the breakup of the bloodline between Rock and Roman for months ahead, and then another match is cosplay.
That can be the start of it.
Yeah.
That's the start of it. And now who you going to be with? Now the bloodlines they got the story like, who you going to follow? You going to go with Rock? You going to stay with Roman or whatever? I mean, not right off the bat. And then now you got Paul Heyman. Now he's got something to do. He has to patch this bloodline back together or his meal ticket's gone. So I think you're going to have a lot of viewers for that, plus what else they build. So we'll see. Because I've often said, let me say this.
Okay.
I've often said it's not the first step you make in an angle, it's the second step. And the second step in this, even though you put the baby face over, now you got another point of interest that they're interested in. Now you got Cody, everybody's happy, and they're actually happy that the bloodline may be showing some dissension and some breakup. I think you're going to have people leaving.
It's been 3 years of that too.
Sunday, is it a Saturday and the Sunday night this time?
Yep.
I think you're going to have them leaving Sunday night. They're going to all be yapping. And the people on the pay-per-view will be yapping. So, and I want to see what Meltzer says about it. Will they give it a 5-star match?
I've got something for you.
All right.
When The Rock and Roman Reigns eventually break up, in my opinion, should be further on in the year. Keep it going, keep the tension going. The Rock turns heel, or more heel, and Paul Heyman ditches Roman Reigns for The Rock, and then Paul Heyman does all the interviews for The Rock, and The Rock doesn't speak. So you've only got Paul Heyman talking, The Rock doesn't do any
weird.
Using
That would look weird.
catchphrases, and then Roman Reigns has to be the guy who gets the fans behind him and beats him down, and eventually gets his revenge at next year's WrestleMania.
Well, that does sound good. I think at this point,
I can see The Rock taking over the group.
After a year or two, to turn Rock back into a babyface. People love him anyway. I don't care, because he says the things they want to say, but can't say, but he can do it anyway. I don't. Like I said, they've opened so many doors. Now it's according to what hall they need to go down to, down. And that's a great feeling for a creative team. Now they don't got to stay up night and pull their hair out. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? They've already done most of the work already. Now they just got to tell and add to the story. Now they got a long-term thing they're working for, I'm sure. I don't know what that is. But that's the point of being a wrestling fan. I want them to surprise me. And I want them to show me or demonstrate to me whether I want to follow this or not. And I don't think I won't say this. I don't think they can screw this up. But yes, in wrestling, you can screw it up. That's why they need to go in short bursts instead of long. Short's always better, because if you make a mistake, you can back it up just a little bit. That's one of my booking rules. Don't go too far that you can't back it up. In case one guy gets hurt or something, you can't leave him like that, so you got to back it up. Now, what's the purpose of backing it up? Just don't go so far that you can't say, let's bring this back and adjust it a little bit back to where it was. But I don't think they'll run into that on this one. I think they got some experienced hands and they know exactly where they're going.
Yeah, this is something, boy. Yeah, Dutch was saying a lot of good points. Same thing I was saying. Same thing Mr. Cole was saying. Just with certain wrestlers coming out smiling and waving at the fans and shaking hands and now. Because Lesnar didn't do that. Lesnar came out there and ready to kick ass. Even the Taker. What was it? The bad, well, the Dark Taker didn't shake hands, but the badass Taker, he came out there, he raised his arm, but he didn't come out there to be slapping hands and all this kind of stuff. He was ready to throw somebody on the floor. So, I was thinking about the bloodline thing. I could see Rock trying to take over, because like I said, who's higher? Was the tribal chief or the final boss? Yeah, so well, that's gonna be something. Cause I actually want to see some of this now, cause I ain't ordered WrestleMania since 28 or 28 or no, what 28? 29? I think it was 28, because I had back to back. I had 26, 27, 28. Yeah, so probably since 28. But we'll see what happens. Because 2 nights of wrestling, 2 nights of pay-per-views. Damn.